And obviously, it keeps coming up, and the stakes are high. It had been a little bit, notwithstanding the fact the president went to Asia and talked about it a lot and was in the region, but it had been in a slightly different cast for the last couple of months because we experienced the longest period between tests or provocations from North Koreans there for a little while. Now it looks like they were just doing their work in the garage, making a better missile. So now it's it's extraordinary. It's now back in the middle of the conversation. There are only so many times you can go through we're going to increase sanctions, China's got to do more, before I feel like some pressure gets built up in the system. Because it starts to feel like what we've seen in other either conflicts or near conflicts where the U.S. wags a finger, maybe does sanctions, maybe says we're going to do something, and then after the ninth time of them doing that, it loses its power. So this president certainly is aware of that. The other thing that's obviously happening is that they're basically showing the Secretary of State the door. Another thing that's going on as we record, this series of leaks, which has been, that's been going on for a long time, but there's a kind of here's your hat, what's your hurry?
Right.
Today going on.
It went from drip, drip, drip
right.
to deluge.
Yes,
the faucet's now wide open.
Right, exactly.
Rex Tillerson, it's only a matter of time, and while you are still here, you will be of diminished importance as a negotiator on behalf of the country, even though that space needs to be filled on a relentless and constant basis.
Right, for just the reason you said, exactly. I mean, this is like an ongoing, and by the way, you played the Mattis clip. Mattis has relentlessly said, I work hand in hand with Tillerson.
I rely on the Secretary of State.
Yeah, so that happening while this temperature is coming back up with North Korea is destabilized.
2 quick points about the missile test. Yes, it achieved a new technological threshold, but it's worth remembering that it's not tested with any kind of payload. So the payload, meaning what you would put in a warhead, which could be a nuclear warhead, still has to be, that technology has yet to be achieved, yet to be harnessed. So that gives everyone some time to deal with this. It's not as if a nuclear weapon can land with an intercontinental ballistic missile in Washington tomorrow. But it was nevertheless an important threshold to cross, and it seems to me, John, North Korea's message to the world is we are not discouraged or being derailed.
Right, that's exactly right. If you think of 2 clocks, there's the one clock, which is how much of the sanctions biting in North Korea and how much, if any, pressure is that putting on the government there, and then the other clock is how fast can they get something on top of a missile and get it. There's the, and I just know what I read. My studies on nuclear missile technology weren't so great in college, but it's about reentry. So you can fire it up, but can it carry that payload, come back in through the atmosphere? And how long is that clock?